My Cortina City, and just pulled up for a bit of a little break, driving break there. We're out and about. A little bit tired today, actually, to be fair. Been working too hard, definitely too hard. Anyway, what I wanted to say about the upcoming videos is we do have a strobe effect. Let's just turn that radio down. We do have a strobing effect simply because the camera that I used was a DJI Osmo Action, and it was set on rock steady, which is a setting to get more smooth shots. And on that setting, if you've got 50 Hz LED lights, which we have in the UK, it causes a bad strobing effect. I didn't know that till 2 videos in, so I've got to apologise in advance for these videos. The next 2 anyway, I've tried to rectify it, but there's bad strobing on there. It's simply a setting on the camera that I missed. Even though anti-flicker was on, it gets overridden by this stabilisation software. Artificially does it. So we're going to have to just live with it. The next videos filmed after that are fine. We're on with it. So that's it. It's a Friday night tonight. I'm going to get back on the live chat. But yeah, as I said, I tried to repair that, so I do apologise for the strobing. You can run it through a sort of AI algorithm and repair it, but you've got to pay £150, $150. I'm not going to do that. When I was on the subject of that, I was looking into the AI, the artificial intelligence, and artificial general intelligence, AGI, and I was actually thinking it's going to have an impact on YouTube. I'm not sure what, but artificial intelligence is getting very sophisticated now, and very soon, actually. And this isn't fantasy. This is real hardcore facts at Cortina City. I'm sure you've read about this, but it's about to reach an intelligence level beyond us. So once it hits that, and it could be 3 months, could be a year, it's coming quicker than you think, then you've got something which is more intelligent than we are, which opens up a lot of avenues, a lot of potential for good, bad, all sorts. I mean, it'll probably be able to just solve a lot of illnesses and diseases in seconds, but it could also be used against us by misuse. Unfortunately, there's dickheads out there, and dickheads can use it as well as people with the best intentions. But AI it's the first time in the history of the human race that there's been something which can think for itself. Or if you go back to the Industrial Revolution, we had machines there which we told them what to do. They weren't autonomous. They couldn't make their own decisions. AI makes its own decisions. It doesn't require any input, and it's exponentially in growth, and it's hard to get your head around. You need to kind of like open another door in your mind to actually see what's actually going to happen. Massive things will happen. And I'm speaking on this, one of my last YouTube video, well, it won't be the last YouTube video, but the last videos, the last few series of videos where there was no AI. It's going to come, and the changes that it'll have on everyone's lives is absolutely huge. I think there's a lot of people running around blindfold, not even thinking about it, because they can't actually grasp what it actually means to them. And it's difficult to get your head around what's actually going to change, but so many things will change. The world will never be the same again. I'm in my 50s. A lot of you who watch are in your 50s. We've grown up and seen technology advance, but nothing like this. This is something completely out there, totally different. Once you've got something that's more intelligent than you, the world's never had that before, as far as we know anyway. I mean, obviously there's creatures out there, uncharted, in the depths of the oceans, which could well be that, but it's unlikely. So really, for the first time on the planet, something's outdone mankind, and it has, and it will, and it'll take over in many ways. There'll be a lot of job losses. There'll be some gain, but there'll be a lot of change. If you're a programmer doing coding, gone. If you're kind of like just writing up reports, gone. It can just, I mean, if you've ever used ChatGTP, I've got ChatGTP 4, and it's just ridiculous. You know, you can just type in something there, and it's not, you have to know how to use it. You can persuade it to do stuff, and it starts to get to know what you're up to. Very clever. And you're not just talking to an automated set of code. This isn't a set of codes and fixed replies. This is something that's actually thinking, and we've never had that before. I put in a video, a YouTube video. I was editing a video, okay, for some of my old 90s footage, and I trial downloaded a program. Forget what it's called. Was it VZ? Something like that. It was a very expensive one. It's about 2,000 quid, but you could demo it on a very basic version, and it's fully AI. And I think they've got it hooked in. They must be paying a lot of money because they've got it hooked into the latest AI software or whatever, or AI channels, outlets that you can tap into. And it was able to first restore the video and upscale it to 1080 or 4K if I wanted. It correctly guessed. I mean, when you stretch something that's low quality, you're going to get errors because it's guessing what's between the pixels. But it recognized the shops and the fonts of the bank, and it even placed in the exact sign that should have been there that was blurry, and redrew the graphic based on the original sign's graphic. It worked out the year that it was edited based upon some average of the amount of cars that were on the road. I mean, it could have been a classic car show, but it worked out that it wasn't. I have no idea how it did it. Absolutely ridiculous. Unbelievable, really, what was going on. And that was just in a couple of minutes of footage. And it looked like it'd been filmed with a 4K camera. It was ridiculous. Nothing ever before has ever been able to do that. And whilst you might say, well, that's a very sophisticated piece of software, it's not. It actually went back and had a little go at changing it. This is something totally different, and until you get your head around it and actually realise what it actually is, it just seems like, oh yeah, it's just like another tool. Like mid-80s, they came out with this thing called fuzzy logic, which was kind of like not off-on, but halfway between on cameras to do stabilisation. I don't know if Sony did fuzzy logic, someone did. And that was like kind of starting to head the way where you're using chips to run stabilization on cameras. But this is completely different. This is post imaging. You can shake that camera all over the place and it'll just rebuild its own version of that. So it'll gather enough data from it and rebuild it. It's not exactly right, but it's heading in the right direction. And it's not just for that. I mean, it's for everything. It could control all of your social media. I'm not on social media other than YouTube. It can control, if it wanted to, and bias it, so it could bias out where it wants to be. And if the wrong people get it into the wrong hands, you know, you can deep fake. You've heard of deep fake. You can bias the news. I know they've always done that because there's always been propaganda. Look at World War II, Lord Ha Ha and others, and leaflet drops and stuff. It's always been around. But we're dickheads, unfortunately, and we've shown it how to be a dickhead. So that's the problem. So it's probably going to be a dickhead, I'm afraid, and mess things up. But the medical side of it, I mean, it's a fight to get it in what they call alignment, so that it's in line with what we would like it to be. But it gets to the point where it's too late for that. It's too late to stop it. It's going to do what it wants. And people are thinking, oh, what's it going to come like a Terminator robot? That's the least of your worries if some robot's coming at you. It's nothing to do with a robot. It's absolutely nothing to do with that. It's knowledge. It's intelligence levels. You wouldn't be able to switch anything off. You wouldn't be able to stop it. It just becomes way beyond anything that we can understand. It's another being that's being born right now. YouTube will change. It will actually change YouTube. I don't know how, but once it gets its hands in there, YouTube will change. Social media will change. Everything will change in a massive, massive way, and I don't think people have got it. We're in the last few days, the last moments of not having it. Our generation got away with it. The next generation coming up, I just hope that it's for the good. But they'll inherit a world with it, and we'll have been from the old school. Think about that. It's unbelievable. And yeah, let's go out and do a road test. That's heavy.
Music. a certain face can lead an unsuspecting heart on a merry chase, a fleeting glance. Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound.